A beacon of hope. Birth and early life. Rese entered the world alone. Abandoned at birth, he could have easily become just another statistic. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. A kind hospital worker, touched by his vulnerability, opened her heart and home, until he was later taken into state custody, placed in the care of family matriarch of the Gooden family, who raised him and over 30+ others. This act of selfless love would forever alter the course of his life. Little did she know, she was welcoming a beacon of hope, a testament to an indomitable human spirit that would take the mold, mannerisms, and life form from the best instructors. From the very beginning, Rese radiated a quiet strength. He possessed an innate resilience which was shown through his gentle eyes. He was a fighter, a survivor, a thoroughbred Capricornus alpha male. This inherent strength would serve him well as he navigated the complexities of life, always emerging from the ashes much wiser and even more determined. A phenomenal queen, most sophisticated, hailed from the most southern part of Meridian, Mississippi. Prior to his birth and adoption, his grandparents moved to Ohio in late 50s to raise their family until passing of George E. Gooden, family patriarch. Rese was raised to model after his late grandfather, who he never met and had immensely great big shoes to fill. Olden day proverb: it takes a village to raise a child. His early childhood was a tapestry woven with the threads of love, support, and strong familial support. His adoptive grandmother Leslie cared for him from infancy until she gave her child Mary, a virtuous, kind, and passionate woman. Captivated by the ills of infertility, was blessed to inherit the life task to raise the young king. A tragedy his life became on the dates of April 12, 2006, to the passing of his mother, and April 8, 2018, the passing of his grandmother. Nearly 12 years apart, pillars of strength, compassion, and hope drove familial values of integrity, perseverance, and faith. These women taught him to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Rese was age 16 when he lost his adoptive mother and age 28 when he lost his grandmother. Together they formed the solid rock and the cornerstone of his life. But the one person he cared for beyond measure with a love language of quality time, he filled most at the round table during his visits home from college, listening and gaining power, strength, and wisdom from his granny for the fight ahead. Rese was age 26 when he'd have the first and last phone conversation with his birth mother while residing in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was unable to raise him or any of his siblings due to the fatal disease of addiction majority of their lives. He was proud to learn that his birth mother turned over a new way of life for recovery, remaining sober 15 years prior to her passing. Many that knew him would agree he was a mama's boy and granny's joy. Their unwavering support, love, and guidance fueled his internal self-belief, which essentially laid the foundation for his life in this society alone. A collectivist culture is surely what he misses the most during his upbringing. Raised by a village of spiritual leaders, mentors, and role models who covered him, teachers recognized his thirst for knowledge and nurtured his intellectual curiosity. Mentors saw his potential and provided guidance and support. These individuals, each remarkable in their own way, collectively shaped Rese into the extraordinary man he is today. A young explorer finds solace in solitude. Even as a young boy, Rese possessed an independent spirit. He found solace in solitude, often venturing out on solitary explorations of his neighborhood and beyond. These adventures weren't just about physical discovery, but also about exploring the uncharted territories of his own mind. He was a thinker, an observer, constantly seeking knowledge and understanding. At the tender age of 14, Rese's independence blossomed. He embraced responsibility, taking on odd jobs to contribute to the household and ease the burden on his mother. This sense of responsibility extended beyond his family. He understood the importance of community and actively sought ways to give back, volunteering his time and resources whenever possible. Facing darkness. The shadows of trauma. Adverse childhood experiences. Life, however, is not without its trials. At the tender age of 6, Rese faced a darkness that no child should ever have to experience. The details remain his to share, but the scars, both visible and invisible, serve as a constant reminder of his resilience. This experience, though traumatic, became a defining moment in his life. Instead of succumbing to the pain, Rese chose to rise above it. He refused to let this experience define him. He channeled his pain into purpose, his anger into action. This strength, forged in the fires of adversity, became his shield and his sword. It enabled him to face future challenges with unwavering courage and determination. Unshakable faith, a trying year, and triumphant spirit. In 2023, his world shattered when he lost his 2 aunts within 60 days of each other, Anita on February 1st and adopted mother's last sister Felicia on April 1st, followed by his car, severe heartbreak after second failed relationship within 6 months, and later his home due to eviction. This led to chronic homelessness that he suffered in silence over 3 years with limited support and major hurt by those he trusted the most. It proved to be particularly challenging for Rese, and by age 34, he turned to alcohol and other drugs to coat this painful feelings, abuse, neglect, and trauma. He never balked while facing a series of personal setbacks or grave, deep losses of personal and family relationships that left him longing for love and belonging. Understandably, this would have crippled a lesser man. Yet, through it all, his spirit never wavered. His faith, a beacon in the darkest of times, provided him with the strength to persevere. He emerged from this crucible, not unscathed, but unbroken. Rese kept resilience in the face of adversity, a testament to the power of the human spirit. He understands that life is not about avoiding challenges, but about facing them head-on, learning from them, and emerging stronger on the other side. His story is an inspiration to us all, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can be found, and faith can light the way. A legacy of resilience, purpose, and faith. Today, Rese, rehabilitated and recovered, now stands tall, an alpha male shaped by his trials, his spirit undimmed. His life is a testament to the power of resilience. He remains a family man. He continues to share his experience, strength, and hope with all those he can. Invictus. The test of a man is the fight that he makes, the grit that he daily shows, the way he stands upon his feet and takes life's numerous bumps and blows. A coward can smile when there's naught to fear, and nothing his progress bars, but it takes a man to stand and cheer while the other fellow stars. It isn't the victory after all, but the fight that a brother makes. A man, when driven against the wall, still stands erect and takes the blows of fate with his head held high, bleeding and bruised and pale, is the man who will win and fate defied, for he isn't afraid to fail. It's the hurdles you mount and the breaks you get, and the shocks your courage stands, the hour of sorrow and vain regret, for the prize that escapes your hands, that test your mettle and prove your worth. It isn't the blows you deal, but the blows you take on this good old earth that show if your stuff is real. Rese continues to live beyond the ills of life created to present barriers to end forward progression towards sustainable fulfillment and success.